I hope, and I truly hope, that the Samaritan Prosecutor's Office will look at what's happening in the Enya case. And I don't know if anybody has followed what's happening in Curacao, and I'll talk about it a little later. They're now telling all the commissioners that were involved in taking high stipends that they got to pay back. An Enya board stipend used to be about 5,000 guilders a month. Most of them here collected 25,000 a month, if not more. Because getting bonuses of $1 million or $2 million is absurd. Not even being on the board, yet being paid for services by the company is theft. Some of them already gone to courts trying to justify their payments, etc. It's all nonsense. But maybe the Public Prosecutor's Office can at least tackle that problem. In Curacao, they went as far as asking for all those involved be jailed. Otherwise, corruption will show its ugly head, seeing who all were involved. The Netherlands brought in a condition of 600 million we got to take between Samaritan and Curacao, about 100, 120 million for us, based on the share in the central bank. Not the amount of people we have, right? The share in the central bank is playing a big role here now. We might end up between 120 and 150 million dollars if we don't watch out, as our share of the 600 million dollars. We go from 5.1% if we don't take it to 3.1% if we take it. And we get different loan terms, 15 years, 22 years, and 30 years. That 30 years, that's a generation. So we are going to burden a generation to come. My children are 30 years now. We're going to burden them until they're 60 with paying back loans for something that we didn't do. The country did not do Enya. Yes, the country is responsible for the central bank. That's why I'm happy that in Curacao there's a movement now that is asking that the commissioners that sat on the board of Enya when the fleecing took place, and the people in the central bank that were there when this fleecing took place, be charged, prosecuted, and jailed. That's what happened in Curacao right now. But we ain't gonna do that. Because we just parade them on stage and call them heroes. But that's gonna change. Believe you me, that's gonna change, because in Curacao, nobody getting paraded on stage. They're actually being shot down off of stages right now. So again, there are a lot of things that gonna play a big case like this, because Enya has become the gift of gifts. It is now giving up big people in our community to the courts for wrongdoings. Do I agree with it? I don't know. I really, really don't know this. Right now, I am confused because I don't have enough insight. The verdict is a very complicated verdict. And I myself am waiting to get some help from some people that understand the law better than I do to explain me the intricacies in this verdict. But again, we have more issues, because remember, the courts now said Ansari is found guilty for 143 million, and they want to review the dividend payments that were made by jacking up the value of Mullet Bay. So what they did over the years, Mullet Bay went from 50 million, 80 million, 150 million, 200 million, 250 million, 300 million, 350 million, 400 million, 450 million, 500 million. Why did they do that? As they kept jacking up the value of Mullet Bay, the dividend, the company was making more money on paper. So they were taking out the money as dividend. That's what they did. That's one of the ways they did it. Look, to take out 1.2 billion, that's a lot of money. You gotta find a lot of good ways to do this. But they did it using Mullet Bay as their primary scapegoat using dividends.
Valerie, who should be the one getting the bailout? Not Country St. Martin, not Country Curacao, the central bank.
Central bank.
That is why I put out an editorial stating, without no uncertain terms, I said no to the loan. Why? Because I believe Holland, by rights, should give that $600 million loan to the central bank and let them, who are basically in charge of Enya right now because of the legal situation where they took control of the management, they'll let them manage the process and let them bail out Enya and let them be responsible for getting that money back and eventually pay back Holland. And whether they get that money back through clawbacks in the United States from the owner or by making a profit over a period of time, let them be responsible for paying back that loan to Holland. And why I say that? Because I know, and you know, Valerie, traditionally, governments, and especially looking at the Curacao government and the track record and St. Martin government and the track record, there's no way we can manage that amount of money and make sure that it is properly applied and properly put to good use. There's no way we can manage that process on our own. So let the central bank that was legally from day one responsible for the management and oversight of Enya, let them be the one to deal with that bailout and let them carry the burden, the financial consequences in terms of the interest, let them carry that burden as well. And they can do it. They can do it. The central bank have billions in reserve. They have gold. They have the ownership of Enya under their control. So they have full control. They have full control of the situation. We as taxpayers, we have absolutely no say in that process. Absolutely not. So why should we carry the burden?
Exactly. We are going to be burdened with it, and our great-grandchildren are still going to be paying it back.
Absolutely. This is a generational
It's something that we
problem
had
we
no
have.
control. We were not responsible for.
No.
Isn't anyone else in government talking about this?
No, because all of them, like I keep saying, all of them have butt on the head. So no one is going to take control of this issue and take responsibility because, yeah.
Okay, we know what you said should happen. What do you think is going to happen?
Now, that is where I have to respect Curacao. Because Curacao is the only one fighting against the loan. We see some moves there, and those are some powerful moves. You see, you see a letter went out to our former governor of the Netherlands.
We got to talk
Our
about
former,
that.
yeah, he had a lot of titles, but the title that he is wearing now, presently, is Minister of State for the country Curacao. That's an honorary title. So basically, you're like an ambassador. You're representing the country of Curacao around the world, in particular in the Kingdom, in the Netherlands, in Europe, as Minister of State. And they basically told him in a nice way, give back the title.
Step down. Yep.
You have until 30th September. You have until September 30th. Give back the title voluntarily, or we will take action.
Okay, what did he do?
The good gentleman.
Because he was president of the Common Court of Justice of the Netherlands Antilles, governor of the Netherlands Antilles, governor of Curaçao, now minister of state. He had a very high to be in the position he's in right now.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Tell us about it.
Because, of course, when he stepped down as governor of the Netherlands Antilles, he was appointed by the owner of Enya to be chairman of the board of Enya. And you know, of course, you are someone of that high standing. You know, you feel honored to serve in that capacity as chairman of a billion-dollar company. So you know you're gonna take it on because you know it's an honorary position. It's and you know that you know you bring a certain prestige and charm and je ne sais quoi to that company, and that is what the owner of the company was banking on. That with that type of reputation and prestige on his board, you know that basically do anything he wants.
Dutch government, and especially State Secretary Alexander van Huffelen. And I'm in total disagreement with the State Secretary because the fact is, she's saying that St. Martin and Curacao has to bear the cost for the, let me use the term, mismanagement or the funds that were taken out illegally by Mr. Ansari to the tune of 1.2 billion guilders. As we all know, October the 10th, 2023, the 320 million guilder loan that was given on loan, let me make sure to get it clear, by the Dutch government with conditions to the government of St. Martin is due. Now, the State Secretary said that in order for us to get favorable interest rates, it means that we have to also include the money that was stolen by Mr. Ansari from the Indian insurance company, or else we will be in trouble where the loans are concerned. And this is why I said she interfered in our internal matters. Now, she also said that Curacao St. Martin should start a court case to pursue, let me use this term, criminal charges against Mr. Ansari. There were 2 court cases already held, and the judge ruled in favor of us, or India. I am saying now, based on the fact that Mr. Ansari resides in the U.S., Mr. Ansari has assets in the U.S., I believe it is a responsibility, because I see it as a matter of international affair where they are the ones claiming to be responsible for such. So therefore, if they are the ones who are responsible for international affairs according to Article 3, I think point B, then they should be the ones to pursue Mr. Ansari. They should be the ones who have the legal minds and the financial possibilities in order to pursue Mr. Ansari. Furthermore, if one can remember an article appeared in the newspaper also, where it showed clearly where the demissionaire Prime Minister Mark Rutte and President Biden were in discussions. And we know we have a friendship treaty, so I'm saying to the Dutch government and to the State Secretary, use those times or use those relationships that you have in order to have them pursue Mr. Ansari and have them put back the 1.2 billion guilders in India. And do not charge the taxpayers of St. Martin or Curacao for any illegally gained monies, which is the 600 million euros. Okay, fine. Also, I want to bring to the attention of the people of St. Martin that the Dutch government, who are forcing us to pay back loans, they have put aside 2.5 billion euros. 2.5 billion euros they have put aside for the war in Ukraine. And the Prime Minister, Mark Rutte, said he will give more. And as a matter of fact, the King William Alexander, during his speech, I think Tuesday gone, said that they would assist and that they, let me paraphrase a bit, that the assistance will be undiminished. In other words, they will continue to do whatever it is in their power to ensure that Ukraine get assistance. So why are you now telling us that we have to repay loans for liquidity support, and in addition to that, add on another maybe 100 something so guilders based on the issue with India? To this, I am in total disagreement. King William Alexander made an apology. The missionary Prime Minister Mark Rutte made an apology. Now, live up to your words now. If your apology is sincere, then first and foremost, don't ask any government or any taxpayer of St. Martin to pay any part of the 600 million euros, and also start by giving us debt cancellation. That's the only thing that will make me feel at least that they're serious. But right now, I'm in total disagreement with what they're doing.
mealtime rules. Don't serve yourself first. Do not eat with your mouth open. Don't rest your elbows on the table. Don't make noise when eating. Does not apply when enjoying KFC buckets. When we bucket together, we are as we really are.
Your social and health insurance is your social and health insurances.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
Your social and health insurances.
During the hurricane season, a potential tropical cyclone can produce rainfall that can cause flash flooding and rockfalls. Stay away from flood-prone areas during heavy rainfall, such as Jump Up Casino on Emma Plain Road in Phillipsburg, ATLH Road Roundabout, L.B. Scott Road from Emilio Wilson Park until Cake House Supermarket, Zaker's Gut from Petro Plus gas station until the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Welcalaken Road Cahill from Welcalaken Road Roundabout until the One-Tete Loke Roundabout, Beacon Hill Road from Sunset Bar and Grill until the beginning of White Sands Road, and Rhine Road, also known as Mullet Bay Road, after Sonesto Maho Beach Hotel to the entrance of Cooper Coy from the intersection of the University Drive until the intersection of Rio Grande. For more information on how you can keep yourself and your family safe this hurricane season, visit stmartingolf.org/hurricane. This public service announcement is brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
Families, letting people know it's nothing to be ashamed of, because at the time you can get help. I had an aunt that was like that all the way in the United States. And I went up with her brother to see her, celebrating her birthday. And when I got there, she asked for another brother. And the other brother was dead. She kept asking for him because she and that brother was very close. Then you look to yourself and say, what's going on there, Tati? You tell me my brother there. I said, which brother? Look, your brother right there. That was my father to show her. And she was just distracted by the conversation. And one time she fell within herself and felt differently, you know. But you have to know how to do these things. If you don't know how to do it, then it's a problem. You don't look at them and tell them, oh, you mad, crazy. No. You have to realize that something is wrong. But you only would say that when you don't know the real problem. You know, and it was a blessing for them. When I sat down, we talk about singing with them, getting into their world, sing hymns with them. I started making time for her. She was a domino player. She loved domino playing. But she was there, but everybody just like shut her off. I said, listen, let's make time for her now. And everybody gathered around, we started to sing, and she started to sing every song. She knew every verse complete. And it was like, what? How do you get this done? I said, this is what you do. You have to know what they like and get into their world and do the things with them. If they used to like to wash, get them with you washing. If they like to cook, get you with them cooking. Don't take away everything, you know, and it will make a difference.
And I also want everyone to join this part. But I think we have someone very special in our midst, and that is Miss Arnold. I think just as a country, more and more persons are being affected by Alzheimer's and dementia. And sometimes you miss a person, you haven't seen them in a long time, and then you just hear, oh, you haven't heard? That person, yeah, they have dementia and they just retired. You know? And
Your social and health insurance is your social and health insurances.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
Your social and health insurances.
With you, the new Kentaco. A combination that will surprise the most curious palates. Combining the deliciousness of KFC chicken and the practicality of a taco. With a doubly delicious ergonomic shape. Wow! Compatible with all types of bites. New Kentaco. Enjoy a double breaded chicken breast with our secret recipe. Cheese, lettuce, and tomato. New Kentaco, the innovation that's in everyone's mouth.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Here are a few tips to keep in mind to help keep you and your family safe. The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th, with the peak occurring between mid-August and late October. This hurricane season, be sure to put together a go bag. A disaster supply kit including a flashlight, batteries, cash, first aid and supplies, medications, and copies of your critical information if you need to evacuate. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
The conversation King Charles told us at the opening of the Commonwealth Heads of Government when he was Prince Charles was a conversation whose time had come, that of reparatory justice. But it can't be a slow conversation taken up when people feel like. It has to be a conversation in which equal partners discuss. It cannot be an act of charity of those who simply feel that their conscience must be cleansed. There is still much to be done. The issues of debt sustainability cannot be left on the sidelines, particularly with the number of countries, more than 60 countries facing debt row today as we speak because of the polycrises. Countries being forced to choose between development and building of resilience to fight climate. In our small island states, we value education and healthcare and the dignity of life, and therefore it will be anathema for us to tell our citizens that we do not have the space to provide for you those things that were the promise of independence.
Speaker of the House of Representatives Marisa Dalrymple Philibert has resigned from that post, as well as being Member of Parliament. This was announced in a statement dated Wednesday, September 20, which reads as follows. I have, over the past 2 days, read the Integrity Commission's report detailing the circumstances of the omission of a motor vehicle from my statutory declaration, and have taken note of the public sentiments on this issue. Nowhere in the entire report has the Integrity Commission raised any question or concern about the source of funding of the vehicle, which was purchased through a loan from Sagicor Bank. The vehicle was never sold or transferred to anyone in the past 7 years, although there was nothing preventing me from doing so after the 3-year mandatory restriction was lifted. I maintain to this day that the omission of the vehicle was a genuine oversight on my part. There would have been no allegation against my name had I included the vehicle in my declaration. Therefore, I had no motive to have deliberately omitted it. Since the Integrity Commission has decided to charge me criminally for an omission, I have considered the damage this has done to my reputation and have decided to tender my resignation both as the Speaker of the House of Representatives and Member of Parliament for South Trelawney with immediate effect. What has happened to me could have happened to any other Member of Parliament, public servant or civil servant. As a woman maintaining a family and as a Member of Parliament, the Speaker of the House of Representatives and managing partner of a law firm, the toll that it has taken on me is immense. I wish to state categorically that my decision is entirely voluntary and not at the request of anyone. I also wish to state and emphasize that I remain a loyal and committed member and a supporter of the Jamaica Labour Party, and more particularly to the Andrew Holness administration. I will continue to render assistance in whatever way I can and will always support my party. I must, without reservation, thank the people of South Trelawney for their unwavering support of me during this period and for returning me as their Member of Parliament on 4 consecutive occasions.